What's up, everybody? I'm back for the first time in a long time with a new video. I'm here in the World of Warcraft Dragonflight Alpha, and I've kind of been checking things out. And I wanted to post a video over here on the Tsetzuko channel just to kind of get a feel for whether or not there was anyone out there who's still interested in Tsetzuko content and guides and stuff for a new World of Warcraft expansion. So if you're watching this and you're one of those people, please make sure to throw a like on the video, share it, leave a comment, let me know that you want to see more videos from me. Otherwise, I'm probably just gonna continue to post WoW content casually over on my other channel, I Am the Sky. If you're not familiar with that channel, I'll leave a link in the description below. I got a couple videos from the alpha already over there if you want to check those out. But otherwise, we'll see what we can do over here, if that's what you guys want. That being said, in this video, I'm going to start checking out the talent trees, the brand new talent system. That's one of the big things that got me interested in Dragonflight. It's kind of the main reason I give a damn, and so I want to see if it's any good. And I want to do that by jumping into each of the different classes on each of the different specializations, and basically just trying to make a open world content leveling and world questing sort of build, like the kind of builds I like to play the majority of the time as a casual scrub, and just see what I can put together and see whether or not it's interesting and you know, worth kind of being excited about. So we're gonna do that starting here today with the Shaman, and I think we're gonna be looking at Enhancement Shaman first, and seeing what we can do with that. So with that being said, let's jump in and check it out. So I'm here on a Shaman. I'm not sure what my specialization is at the moment. We're going to go ahead and we're going to open this up, and we're going to show our other action bars here. And we're going to take a look. So this is what the new tree looks like. We got a Shaman side, and then we have a spec-specific side. We're currently Elemental. Let's go ahead and swap over to Enhancement. All right, so now we are Enhancement. All right, and we're gonna clear off our action bar here. I don't want anything on here. I want a completely blank slate to start with. All right, so let's take a look at what we have in our spell book that is just available before we put any talent points in. So we haven't put a single talent point in. Now, when you have talent points in, you're going to notice that this yellow border is going to show. That means you have this ability. So without any points in, we gain access to Chain Lightning, and we gain access to Maelstrom Weapon. So I'm going to assume you're somewhat familiar with Shaman. I don't want to go into detail about every single spell. Like, you know what Chain Lightning is, right? Okay. Maelstrom Weapon, some of this stuff may have changed, so we are going to glance at it and just kind of review it. I may be a little bit rusty and need to check some of this stuff out too. So let's jump into our spell book real quick. Let's see, what do we have that's super relevant? So we've got Chain Lightning, we've got our usual stuff, we've got Flame Shock, we got Flame Tongue Weapon, we got our heal, you know, our Ghost Wolf, Lightning Bolts, we got Lightning Shield, Primal Strike. Okay, and then we have Maelstrom Weapon. So when you deal damage with a melee weapon, you have a chance to gain Maelstrom Weapon, stacking up to 5 times. Alright, each stack reduces the cast time of your next damage or healing spell by 20%. Maximum 5 stacks can be consumed at one time. So we get 5 stacks. And we basically can instant cast a damage or healing spell. We've got our Reincarnation, and then we also have our Enhancement Mastery, Enhanced Elements. So this increases our chance to trigger Stormbringer and Wind Fury by 1.49% and increases all fire, frost, and nature damage you deal by 37.3%. Now, as of right now, we don't have any way to trigger Stormbringer or Wind Fury because we don't have those abilities. So really all we're getting from this is the increased fire, frost, and nature damage. So taking a quick glance at our spells, we've got our usual single target, multi-target lightnings. We do have flame shock, so this is going to shock the target, deal some damage, deal damage over time. We can apply this to a max of 6 targets. We've got our quick heal. We've got our primal strike, which is, I mean, garbage as far as I know. I don't know that it's gotten any better, but we'll see. And then we have our lightning shield, so we can surround ourselves with lightnings for 30 minutes. And then we have our flame tongue weapon, which will cause each of our attacks to deal some additional fire damage. So as of right now, we don't really have a whole lot going on. Let's see. We've got a chest of playtest equipment. I'm going to assume that we're still going to want to have fist weapons equipped. Are like dual wield here. So let's go ahead and just pop on another fist weapon for enhancement. I'm not going to worry about the stats of everything else here, you know, like having the perfect stuff. Not going to worry about that right now. We're mostly worried about the mechanics, not the numbers we're putting out. Okay. So it looks like in our talent tree, we have a resto section. We have a elemental section. Then we've got kind of a weird section here in the middle. Looks like maybe it's some of our utility stuff. And then we have what looks to be enhancement over here. That might be right. That might be wrong. We'll look through and we'll check. So remember, the goal here is to create a build that's going to give us nice stuff to do in open world content. So we're going to be looking for quick cooldowns, easy synergies, survivability, movement speed, stuff like that. So we've automatically got our chain lightning and we've got maelstrom weapon. So we've got frost shock, so we can chill the target, deal some damage, and reduce their movement speed. Okay, that's cool. We've got Focused Insight. Casting Flame Shock reduces the mana cost of your next heal and increases its healing effectiveness by 15%. So that'll come in handy when we're casting our little healing surge, if that's what we're going to do. You know, I don't know if this is the best way to like approach creating one of these talent builds. I think... So there's a few things to note. A circle on the talent tree is just a passive, right? It doesn't give you any button to push on your actual bar, which is what we need, because this is not an enhancement build with these skills we have here. These little boxes with the kind of corners cut off, these are active abilities. And then these here that are kind of like the, I don't know, hexagons, octagons, I guess, are ones where we can choose between two different abilities, which may be active or may be passive. It just kind of depends. So I think what we want to figure out is like, what abilities do we actually want to get out of this? Because we're going to end up picking up passives along the way. So we've got Frost Shock, we've got Cleanse Spirit, we've got Hex. So Frost Shock, obviously good. Cleanse Spirit, don't care about that in open world content at all. Don't really care about Hex either. So as of right now, I'm seeing like, okay, we put 1 point into Frost Shock and then we kind of go from there. Let's go through, we'll look at our choices in just a bit. So continuing down, we've got Totemic Projection. Relocate your active totems to the specified location. That is pretty good if you have totems that you're consistently using, especially in open world content, because it lets you move your totems that you set up from one place to another. So I do generally like that ability if we have totems that are worth using, which as of right now we don't. Then down here we've got a Poison Cleansing Totem. Don't care about that for open world content, but it's here. And then here we have Call on the Elements. Reset the cooldown of your most recently used totem with a base cooldown shorter than 3 minutes. So I'm seeing a lot of like totem stuff going on over here. So I'm going to assume there's going to be some totems we're going to pick up, and then maybe this will be a little bit more relevant. Okay, so what else do we have? We've got Capacitor Totem, so this is the one that does the stun. That one's okay. We've got Wind Shear, which is our Interrupt. Interrupt, we definitely want to have an open world content, so we're going to want to get that somehow, either through grabbing Lava Burst or grabbing Astral Shift. Personally, I'm probably going to grab Astral Shift. The defensive little cooldown to hit there is pretty good. So getting that into Wind Shear, I think, is going to be a nice combo. We got Tremor Totem, which removes Fear, Charm, and Sleep. Not a big deal for open world content, so probably going to pass on that unless we have to get it for some reason. Then we have, obviously, Lava Burst, which is, it's nice. And I don't know if we'll need it. More like Elemental Resto, I think. We've got Chain Heal. Probably don't need that either unless we're playing in a party. We do have Earth Elemental. Earth Elemental is a nice cooldown to have. Again, like you could pop this on a rare or something like that, and it can tank for you, so that's pretty good. Earth Shield. We have not really something we're going to use in open world content. I think we would rather just have our Lightning Shield up. Same thing, Spirit Walker's Grace allows us to move while we're casting spells. Being enhancement, that's not really an issue, so I don't think we're going to choose that either. So as of right now, I'm kind of leaning mostly towards the right side, possibly popping in to pick up Earth Elemental, potentially, although I'm not, like it might be like Lava Burst, Earth Elemental, but you know, that's a stretch. That's only looking at these like active abilities and none of our choices yet. Dropping down further to the bottom, we got Healing Stream Totem. So this is a pretty nice totem to have in open world content. 30-second cooldown, but it will constantly heal you for 550 every couple of seconds. We've got Nature's Swiftness, so next healing or damaging nature spells instant cast and cost no mana. 1 minute cooldown makes it kind of viable in open world content. Thunderstorm, call down a bolt of lightning, dealing nature damage to all enemies within 10 yards, reducing their movement speed and knocking them away from the shaman, usable while stunned. That actually seems pretty handy. It's a small amount of damage, but a 30-second, like, get the heck away from me? Maybe not as great in Enhancement Shaman, but cool ability nonetheless. Mana Spring Totem, another good one. Not necessarily for open world content, especially not with a 45-second cooldown. Ancestral Guidance for the next 10 seconds. 25% of your damage and healing is converted to healing on up to 3 nearby injured party or raid members. So based off the abilities that I'm seeing so far, nothing is really catching my eye down here in the bottom for open world content, except the potential for totemic projection if we end up with some good totems. Possibly Call the Elements if we end up with some good totems. And then, you know, maybe like Thunderstorm or Nature's Swiftness, Healing Stream Totem. But these are definitely like maybes. So, that being said, I'm not feeling a strong pull in any direction, really, just based on the active abilities here. So the next thing to look into would be looking at our choices, where we can choose between 1 or 2 different abilities or passives. So we're just going to go like row by row here. So let's start with this one. This is going to give us access to Plains Traveler, reduce the cooldown of Astral Shift by 30 seconds, and increase its duration by 6 seconds. That is pretty good. So it's 1 point. So you're going to get 1.5 minutes on Astral Shift, and you're going to increase the duration to 14 seconds. That seems really good. Astral Bulwark, Astral Shift reduces damage taken by an additional 20%. So 60% less damage. That's also pretty good. I like both those. I think Astral Shift is a good pickup for open world content. Personally, I think making the damage taken a little better is probably going to be the choice for open world content, because a lot of times, like, you're just going to be popping that on like a rare spawn or, you know, if you get in a hairy situation or you pull like too many enemies at the same time. So that's looking pretty nice. Like either way, I think that's a solid choice. We can use it more often, or we can get more out of it. Next up, we've got Thunderous Paws Ghost Wolf. Removes snares and increases your movement speed by an additional 25% for the first 3 seconds every minute. Okay, so snares, you know, that's good if you're trying to make your way through an area and you are getting snared, or you're just trying to get away from a bad situation. Every minute or so, that's not that terrible either. Seems okay. And then Spirit Wolf, while transformed into a Ghost Wolf, you gain 5% movement speed and 5% damage reduction every 1 second, stacking up to 4 times. That's definitely my preference. So I'm liking these choices right here. They're definitely pulling me in. On this row, we've got a choice between Guardian's Cudgel. When Capacitor Totem fades or is destroyed, another Capacitor Totem is automatically dropped in the same place. So Stun, and then Static Charge. Reduce the cooldown of Capacitor Totem by 5 seconds for each enemy it stuns, up to a maximum reduction of 20 seconds. So I like the little echo on the totem. That's kind of cool. You know, I'm like, if I go by this, I might get it, but I'm not gonna like head for it. And then we have a ton on this row. Okay, so Spirit Walker's Aegis. When you cast Spirit Walker's Grace, you become immune to Silence and Interrupt. No. Reduce the cooldown of Spirit Walker's Grace. No. We got Earth Grab Totem, and then we've got Wind Rush Totem. Probably neither one of those. Earth Grab Totem could potentially be like pretty decent for helping us keep enemies off of us, but at the cost of a point, I don't really know. Not unless we have to go through there. Greater Purge, so remove 2 magic effects, and then Purge and Greater Purge. Okay, so Greater Purge has a cooldown, but removes 2 beneficial magic effects. Not super necessary. Then we have upgrades for Hex. When Hex ends, the target is slowed by 70% for 4 seconds, and reduce the cooldown of Hex by 10 seconds. So it turns it into a 20-second cooldown. So really, there's a lot of choices there, but not a lot that I care about. All right, and then over here, we've got Gust of Wind to hurl us forward, or we have Spirit Walk, which removes all impairing effects and increases our movement speed by 60% for 8 seconds on a minute cooldown, or we can just push ourselves forward every 20 seconds. All right, and then we've got one here, Lightning Lasso. So grip the target in lightning, stunning and dealing a bunch of nature damage over 5 seconds while the target's lassoed, and you can move while channeling. Or Thundershock. Thunderstorm knocks enemies up instead of away, and the cooldown is reduced by 5 seconds. I do like that as well. And then here we got Tranquil Air Totem. So this is going to prevent cast pushback and reduce the duration of incoming interrupt effects. Not too crazy for enhancements. And then Stone Skin reduces physical damage taken by party members by 10%. That's a little bit better. And then here we have Creation Core, Call of the Elements. Affects an additional totem, and improve Call of the Elements. Reduce the cooldown of Call of the Elements by 60 seconds. So that's here. Reduce the cooldown of your most recently used totem with a base cooldown shorter than 3 minutes. So I'm not seeing a ton of stuff here that's got me like really going crazy about anything. I do really like Astral Shift into Wind Shear because we want that interrupt. I think here I'm going to go for the damage reduction on Astral Shift. So then we're going to pick up Spirit Wolf. So we've got defense, interrupt, stronger defense, movement speed. We got our Frost Shock, here. We need to spend 3 more points to get into this tier. We need to come in on an area that we like care about. So I don't really care about Purge or Hex. I don't care about these totems, though, like, between these 3, that's what I would go for. Don't care about the Spirit Walker pickups. And then over here, we've got increase the critical strike chance of your nature spells by 2%. That's probably going to be pretty good. Plus, increase your attack speed by 15% for your next 3 melee swings after dealing critical strike with a spell or ability. We're going to want to pick that up. Casting Flame Shock reduces the mana cost of your next heal and increases its healing effectiveness. Also seems pretty good, but I'm wondering if we just want to grab, like, Capacitor Totem. Increased all Fire Frost damage you deal. Increase Leech and Avoidance by 3%. Increase the number of elemental shields you can have active on yourself by 1. So we got 2 points to spend here. We could go Capacitor Totem into probably Guardian's Cudgel. And then that would take us into like an Earth Grab Totem and being able to go from there. I guess the question is, which passives do we want? I think we want Nature's Fury. Winds of Alakir is more movement speed. That's cool. That's 10% increased health. I like this side. I do like this side. We have an in on this side already, so we're good. We can go from there. I kind of want to get an in on the middle here because there's some pretty cool stuff, it looks like. So I think we will go Capacitor Totem, Guardian's Cudgel. All right, so that brings us in here. We're going to want to pick this up. I want to pick that up. Increase Ghost Wolf speed. Take Spirit Walk. And then we need 6 points. So what we just picked up here was critical strike chance and nature spells. While reincarnation is off cooldown, which it should be most of the time, this increases our max health by 10%. And while we're at full health, reincarnation cools down 75% faster. That's super cool. And then we have increased Ghost Wolf movement speed by 10%, plus we've got our Spirit Wolf here, which is going to give us an extra 20%. We're going to be flying through there. And then we have an additional 60% speed buff here every minute. So cool stuff. I would have to try Gust of Wind. Let's see how Gust of Wind is. All right, we're going to apply this real quick. It's going to drop a bunch of spells on here, but I do want to see. So it just kind of hurls us forward. The question here is, does that work in Ghost Wolf? Because if it does, then I'm all about that. It does. Okay. Yeah. I think we're going to go with that. That's just, 3 times a minute. We get to hurl ourselves forward when we're running. I kind of like that. All right, so 6 points in, right? Relocating our totem. So I feel like right now this isn't one we're going to get, but it may be one that we get when we get over here to the enhancement side if we find some totems that are worth moving with us. Like right now, I don't think we really... we don't have any. All we have is Capacitor Totem. So I think we're not going to grab that one. So I think we're going to come down here, and we got a couple of options. We can increase our fire damage. I think we're going to go here. Fire damage. I think we actually... Oh, we don't want to go here or here. So maybe... What if we get rid of our Capacitor Totem? We go here and here. And then we go here, 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 and there. Okay, so we got that. And now, instead of this Capacitor Totem and the bonus, we have 3% increased fire and frost damage, increased leech and avoidance, and to reduce all damage taken by 6%. That looks good to me. All right, then we need to spend 4 more points. We do cast Lightning Bolt as Enhancement Shaman, unless that has changed. So I think it's worth picking up the 2 points there. I think the Healing Stream Totem is worth picking up. And then we have 1 point left, so we can go back and get the Capacitor Totem. We can get the Earth Grab Totem. Or we could put a point into Flame Shock and our heals. I think I like that. Alright, so now we've got Go with the Flow, reduce the cooldown of Spirit Walk, reduce the cooldown of Gust of Wind by 2.5 seconds. So if we want to go even faster, we can Gust of Wind every 15 seconds with 2 points. I don't know if it's worth 2 points. Maybe if we have some filler points. And I don't know if it's worth picking up Call of the Elements. Again, this might be one that we pick up if we get some cool totems over here on the enhancement side. Let's see. Poison Cleansing Totem. Now, Thunderstorm had some cool stuff going on that I liked. So let's see. What do we have over here? Mana Spring and Ancestral Guidance. Right? Don't care about those. But this... Using Healing Stream Totem increases the healing of your next 3 healing surges. I don't think we need to worry about that. Maybe we do, but without testing, I wouldn't pick that up. We can pick up Nature's Swiftness. That can be a lifesaver. It's a solid point to put in. What else do we have? Increase the radius of your totem's effects by 7%. Increase the duration of Earthbind and Earth Grab. Increase the duration of Healing Stream, Mana Stream, Tremor, Poison Cleansing, and Wind Rush by 1.5 seconds. Seems okay. A Stone Skim Totem. That reduced physical damage taken. Also seems pretty good. Increase the damage dealt by Lightning Shield by 50%, and it has an additional chance to trigger Maelstrom Weapon. Yeah, I think we want to grab that. We got 4 points left. So with 4 points, I don't know that we need to increase the radius if we can move them, but as of right now we can't move them. So maybe increasing the, yeah, just getting increased duration. Let's see, Healing Stream Totem is for 15 seconds. That's actually plenty. You only get an additional 3 seconds, and in open world content, we probably don't need it to last longer than that. So I'm thinking maybe Thunderstorm into the Lasso. Like, the Lasso is a lot of damage that you can use on a rare spawn or a high priority target. And then I'm thinking grab the Stone Skin Totem. And maybe Nature's Swiftness. Something like that. Like, it would require some testing. Like I said, there'd be some rearranging on this if I felt like Totemic Projection was really like a mandatory pickup. But I honestly, like, I kind of like what's going on here. I feel like we got some decent stuff. We could always go back and put a point in here. You know, without testing, I like the way this looks. So let's go ahead and apply our base shaman points there. And, I mean, keep in mind, like, honestly, a lot of this would probably be the same from spec to spec. It's going to change some, but we'll see. Okay, so let's go ahead and kind of move some of this stuff. We'll put all of our totems right here. Let's see. We're going to put our sort of like probably going to be in enhancement type stuff here. There's another totem. Got some defensives, interrupts, some power-ups, some heals, movement. That's a big one. That's a interrupt. Okay, we'll just kind of do that. All right, so those are the new abilities that we've gotten. So still, you know, like we don't have much of anything because we haven't put any points into our specialization talent side. So let's go ahead and get into that. So normally the first point is going to give us something key. And it does. It gives us Storm Strike. So we have no choice. We got to take Storm Strike. And that's great because Storm Strike is such a fun ability. Okay. So we get Storm Strike. And now we can go two different directions here. So again, I think we go through and we look at, you know, what abilities do we want to get. So we've got Wind Fury Weapon. So this is our buff. Each main hand attack has a chance to trigger 2 extra attacks. Or we can pick up Lava Lash. So this is going to charge our offhand weapon with lava and burn the target. Damage is increased if your offhand weapon has Flame Tongue weapon. So also a pretty good skill, although we don't know how these things are going to combo. I feel like we want to pick up both of these, but we'll kind of see. We've got Feral Lunge, which just lets us jump at an enemy. That's always pretty nice, just for going around from enemy to enemy in the open world. Doom Winds. So this is going to increase the chance to activate Wind Fury Weapon and increase the damage dealt for 8 seconds with a minute cooldown. We've got Sundering. So that's an ability I always like. Smash the ground in front of you and do a bunch of flame strike damage and stun everything. Wind Fury Totem. So summons a party that gives a 10% chance for main hand auto attacks to swing an extra time. We got Crash Lightning. So Crash Lightning, also really good skill here. Electrocute all enemies in front of you. Hitting them for nature damage. Hitting 2 or more targets, which is normally what you want to do. Enhances your weapons for 10 seconds, causing Storm Strike and Lava Lash to also deal nature damage to all targets in front of you. So this is kind of your AoE enabler for Enhancement Shaman. Almost mandatory, I think, in open world content. We've got Ice Strike. So strike with the Icy Blade, dealing frost damage and snaring the target, and increases the damage of your next Frost Shock by 100%. Okay, so we can kind of go for the Ice Frost Shock version. Elemental Blast, big fan of this ability. Deals elemental damage, increases your critical strike and haste by 6% for 10 seconds. All right, Primordial Wave. So this deals elemental damage and applies flame shock to an enemy or heals an ally. And your next lightning bolt will also hit all targets affected by your flame shock. So this was the Necrolord ability, I believe. I kind of liked this ability. I thought it was pretty cool. We got Feral Spirit, so this summons the 2 wolves. And then we have Ascendance. So yeah, most of our abilities are in there. Now that doesn't pull me in any particular direction because a lot of those are really good. Some of them feel mandatory. We'll have to see. We have 24 points. So let's take a look at our choices. So right here, your damage or healing spells will now consume up to 10 Maelstrom weapon stacks. Okay, or Maelstrom weapon now increases the damage or healing of spells it affects by 5%. So, if we look at our Maelstrom weapon, where did it go? Oh, that's right. No. Here we go. Okay. So reduces the cast time. So is there a... There's probably something... Yeah, okay. Yeah. So here we've got some passives that will increase damage. So basically, this is going to just flat out increase the damage and healing of all spells it affects by 5%. Or it's going to allow consumption of your Maelstrom stacks to go up to 10 instead of 5. Right here, we've got Primal Lava Actuators. Each time Flame Shock deals periodic damage, increase the damage of your next Lava Lash by 12% and reduce the cooldown by 0.5 seconds. Or Primal Primer, melee attacks with Flame Tongue. Increase the damage the target takes from your next Lava Lash by 7, stacking up to 10 times. Okay, so some Lava Lash synergies there. Right here, we've got Fire Nova. So Fiery Nova from all targets affected by your Flame Shock. Last time I tested this, it wasn't that great. Hailstorm increases the damage of your next Frost Shock based on the Maelstrom weapons you've consumed. And that was pretty good. Got Ancestral Wolf Affinity. Cleanse Spirit, Wind Shear, Purge, and Totem casts no longer cancel Ghost Wolf. Interesting. Your healing surge is 30% more effective on your health. Okay, that's huge. Pretty sure we're going to want to get that. And grabbing Sundering before that is not a bad thing in my book. Not at all. And then our last choice is here. Alpha Wolf. While feral spirits are active, Crash Lightning causes your wolves to attack all nearby enemies for the next 8 seconds. Or Elemental Spirits reduce the cooldown of feral spirits and causes them to be imbued with fire, frost, or lightning, enhancing your abilities. So yeah, the feral spirits upgrade, essentially. Okay. So, based on that, I mean, there's definitely options for what we can do here, depending on how we want to build. Obviously, there's like some Lava Lash stuff we can do. There's some stuff we can do with Frost Shock, based on Hailstorm and like Ice Strike. We can kind of go off the other way and go heavy into like Doom Winds, that kind of stuff. So, I don't know whether we want to go Wind for your weapon or Lava Lash. Pretty sure we still might want to pick up both. So let's take a look at our top passives here. Wind Fury causes each successive Wind Fury attack within 15 seconds to increase the damage up to 5 times. And then Wind Fury weapon has a 40% chance to trigger a third attack. Maelstrom weapon now increases the damage or healing of spells it affects by 20%. Okay, Maelstrom weapon can now stack an additional 5 times. I like the additional stacks from that. I probably would go that route. Lava Lash cooldown reduced by 3 seconds. If used against a target affected by your Flame Shock, it'll spread up to 2 nearby enemies. So I think, pick both these up, grab that, and then we've got 3 points left to spend. I think... like Wind Fury and Wind Fury weapon here, and then we have 1 point left, so it's like, do we want to put it into a rank in here, or do we just want to grab Feral Lunge? Let's grab Feral Lunge for now. Just kind of see where we want to go from there. Now, I personally want to pick up Sundering, and I want to pick up that Healing Surge is more effective on yourself. I think that's super good for open world content. Right here, we'll come back to that. I think Crash Lightning is a good pickup. So what do we have on our passives here? So increase all Fire, Frost, Nature damage. Storm Strike has a 25% chance to strike the target an additional time for 40% of normal damage, and this effect can chain off itself. That was always pretty good. And then we also can pick up Wind Fury Totem with that. Your special attacks have a chance to reset the remaining cooldown on Storm Strike. Also pretty good. So I think we want to grab that. Want to grab that. Want to grab that. We need 6 more points spent. So far, I'm okay. It's kind of not going this Frost Shock route. That's definitely a build you can take, but I'm okay with not doing it. So let's see here. Your damage or healing spells will now consume up to 10 Maelstrom weapon stacks. Or Maelstrom weapon now increases the damage or healing of spells it affects by 5%. So it's an additional 5%. I think we probably would pick that up, I would imagine. But let's see what we have on the bottom row here. So first off, Ice Strike and Fire Nova. Also, yeah, okay, I'm not worried about that. I also personally don't like Ascendance. Especially not for open world content. The cooldown is fairly long on it. I'd rather just do something else. And these are both Ascendance talents, so I don't think we need to worry about like kind of going along this way. Okay, so we do have our Elemental Blast, Improved Stormbringer. So Stormbringer, Stormbringer. Here we go. Now also causes your next Storm Strike to deal 25% additional damage. Okay, that's nice. Each target hit by Crash Lightning increases the damage of your next Storm Strike. Each target hit by Chain Lightning reduces the cooldown of Crash Lightning. Melee auto attacks with Flame Tongue weapon have a chance to reduce the cooldown of Lava Lash by 75% and increase the damage of Lava Lash by 100% for 8 seconds. So there's a lot going on here. We're kind of leaning into the Storm Strike kind of thing, so I kind of want to pick that up. I think Elemental Blast is a good one to pick up. Increased our critical strike or haste by 3%, or mastery by 6%. It's 12-second cooldown. It's a nice little chunk of damage. I think we come back over here, grab that, and then we could do Doom Winds. It might be an okay pickup. Or we could do just grab Hot Hand for some Lava Lash cooldown. I prefer to go for the passive stuff. So let's go with that for now. All right, let's check out the bottom tier. So we got 3 abilities to choose from. We're not going the Ascendance route. We know that. So we can either go Primordial Wave or we can go Feral Spirits. I like both of these. Just kind of depends. Now what's this one here? Consuming 5 stacks of Maelstrom weapon will reset the cooldown of Storm Strike and cause your next Storm Strike to deal 15% increased damage. That seems pretty good based on all the Storm Strike stuff we have going already. What about this one here? Storm Strike damage is increased by 8%, and Storm Strike now generates 1 stack of Maelstrom weapon. That's actually really good as well. So I think we can go either way. So we got 5 points left, so we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or we can go Primordial Wave, and then what do we have here? This Primordial Wave generates 5 stacks of Maelstrom weapon, and then each additional lightning bolt generated by Primordial Wave increases your haste. That sounds fun. I think that's kind of what that looks like for me. Although I do wish I had a point back now. I think, if I'm correct here, yeah, we have 5 points. Do we want... Okay, it still only generates 1 stack. I think that's okay. Like, I mainly want to pick this up for the Maelstrom weapon stack generation. We now have the ability to... That's 10 stacks per Primordial Wave. That's pretty insane. So yeah, I think I would kind of go with this. Now, Is this definitely the build that I would do? No, this is my first time looking at these talents. I haven't tested anything out. I haven't tried anything at all, but we can kind of do that now. So let's take a look. Let's try to figure this out and put this together, right? So we're gonna put all of our totems in one spot. All right, we need our Wind Fury weapon. We need our lightning shield. All right, so a lot of what we're going to be doing is storm striking. All right, so we're going to be storm striking. We're going to be getting our maelstrom stacks, right? And then our maelstrom stacks are going to make our next damage or healing spell instant cast, basically, when we hit 5 stacks. So we're going to have Lava Lash. Okay. So we're going to be hitting this. We're going to be hitting this. We're going to be putting our Flame Shock and our Frost Shock out there. And then we're basically going to be either spinning our Maelstroms on Lightning Bolts or Chain Lightning. We do have Crash Lightning as well. Okay. Or we'll pop a healing spell if we need it. Now, that's kind of the core of what we're going to be doing. In addition to that, we have 12-second cooldown Elemental Blast, which will increase our critical strike or haste or mastery. So we'll be popping that as much as we can. We got Primordial Wave on a 45-second cooldown, which will give us 10 Maelstrom stacks. We have Sundering on a 40-second cooldown, which will do an AoE and stun. Then we have Lightning Lasso on a 45-second cooldown, which will do a big chunk of damage. And in addition to that, we do have Nature's Swiftness, which mainly I would use for a quick heal or something like that most of the time. I don't even know, like, based on the spells we have, what's our longest cast time? 1.7 for Elemental Blast. You know, and I mean, honestly, we can cast that with Maelstrom. Like, looking back, like, Nature's Swiftness, I might actually just pull that out and put that point somewhere else. I don't know where I'd put it right now, but yeah, I think Nature's Swiftness could probably come off for us. We'll have to see how all the Maelstrom stacks and stuff go. We also have our CCs here. We've got our other defensive, so those are good to go. And then we've got our movement speed stuff here and our lunge. So that's kind of what we're looking at. So we get our lightning shield, we get our wind fury, we get our flame tongue. We basically are going to want to drop these 3 totems. But we'll definitely drop Wind Fury. And then we'll drop Stone Skin and Healing if we feel like we need the recovery. So just based on this, looking at cooldowns, we got 5-second cooldown on Frost Shock. We're not doing any combos with Frost Shock, so really it's just kind of like a filler spell for us. We want to Flame Shock and get the ticks on Flame Shock going. I don't know, do we pick up anything that helps with that? I mean, we do have Hot Hand. At least Hot Hand in there. But we want to get that ticking anyway. And then we basically want to Lava Lash and Storm Strike. I'm not sure if we still need to do those in order. So we do have special attacks have a chance to reset the remaining cooldown on Storm Strike. So we do want to Storm Strike and then Lava Lash just in case we get the reset from it. Alright, so let's check it out. I'm going to be clicking here just because it's easier for me. I don't have my add-ons and all that kind of good stuff, so don't roast me too hard. Alright, so we've got our Flame Shock going. Alright, so then we're going to Storm Strike. We got the proc. We're going to Lava Lash. We're at 4 stacks of Maelstrom weapons, so everything should flash. We can Elemental Blast, Storm Strike, Lava Lash. Oh my god. This is pretty awesome already. Alright, let's get the Flame Shock back on there. Storm Strike, Storm Strike, Storm Strike, Storm Strike, Lightning Bolt, Lightning Bolts. I mean, I definitely need some weak auras to kind of help me with this. No, we kind of hit a slow point in the rotation. That's where we could like throw in a Frost Shock or something like that. Alright, there we go again. Elemental Blast. Okay, Lightning Lasso. Oh, Slam. Elemental Blast. Kind of up our... Use our shocks in between. Yeah, this is feeling pretty good. Holy crap, this is just like, oh man. Yeah, I am liking this quite a bit already, and I haven't even done anything. Look at this. So we're at 1 stack of Maelstrom Weapon, Primordial Wave, 10 stacks. Just boom, boom, boom. There we go. Hit that. You know, get those shocks going. Don't even really hit like a downtime. Shocks. Just trying to get those Storm Strike resets. I'm obviously not playing this perfectly. Man, and we don't even have Wind Fury Totem down. Oh man. That's crazy. So we're just trying to get like some special attacks in to potentially reset Storm Strike. Oh, we kind of hit a dead moment there. Yeah, okay, okay. And then we go really fast. Go really fast. Got a leap that we can use every couple of seconds, every 20 seconds or so. Yeah. I would call this a success. Just based off the initial stuff there. I'm not sure if there's like a zone we can hop it to. Let me see. I wonder if there's a portal or something we can use. There's got to be to be able to test this out. Oh, what do we have? Highwind Darkmane. I'm not sure exactly how we get to the new zone. I haven't tried it yet. We're going to try it live here on the video. I mean, that probably would have been a good place to end it. You know, I'm trying this stuff all like brand new as we go here. So, oh, this is the guy that's going to sell us stuff, I'm assuming. Dragonflight, Master, Files and Potions. Yeah. You would think in the alpha they would just kind of like put an easy way to get there. I wonder if there is one, or maybe my Hearthstone set. No, it's the Valley of Strength. So definitely not set for over here. I know the new zones Like somewhere over here. Alright, I don't know how to get there. I'll figure it out, and maybe in one of the other shaman videos, we'll come back and what we got here? Undercity. Yeah, we'll come back and test out this build. So for now, since I don't have that figured out, and I don't want this video to go on an extra long time with me trying to figure it out, that's going to do it for this video. You guys let me know what you think. Obviously, you know, this is a first glance at Enhancement Shaman talent tree and what I think I might do with it for an open world content build. So you guys let me know what you think. And again, like I said, if you want to see more content, if you want to see more Dragonflight alpha content from Tsetzuko, make sure to hit that like button, share the video so it can get some more views, and leave some comments below. And we'll see what we can do based on what I've done in this video. I like it. There's definitely, you know, I've seen the ways that I could go here, and I think there's a few different builds I would play. I'm not as overwhelmed by the diversity as I thought that maybe I would be. But having looked at the Druid tree, I think this one has a little more choice and flexibility. Just based on what I've seen so far. But yeah, that's going to do this for this video. Thanks you guys for tuning in and watching, and I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you on the next one.